Hey guys, it's Ezzy here giving you the Tritton 720 Plus review. Yes, it's Tritton. In my last video, my unboxing video, I said Tritton, but it is Tritton. I've checked with an official representative and they said Tritton, so I'm going to say Tritton right now, but I'm probably going to get it wrong. Anyway, here is the review. Sorry it's taken so long. I've tried to try it out with a lot of games like Black Ops 1, sorry, Modern Warfare, Medal of Honor Warfighter, Assassin's Creed, Uncharted 3, just trying to use these with totally different games, you know, make sure that I know what I'm talking about. So here is a review finally. First of all, I've had experience with headsets like the Astro A40s. I've tried on some Turtle Beaches before. I've tried the previous Trittons, the 720 AX720s. These are the successor of the AX720s. And I've also tried the 8-speaker version of the Trittons. As far as I can see, those are the three brands, the Astro, Turtle Beach, and Trittons, that dominate the console gaming headsets. You'll find that there are a lot of PC surround sound headsets that you can buy that are much cheaper, that will do as good of a job, but they won't be able to let you use these mics. You'll have to buy an extra one. So I'm only comparing this to console gaming headsets. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about 7 things that I'm going to be reviewing this of. Build quality, features, connectivity, ease of use, comfort, microphone quality, and sound quality. Those are the 7 things that I'm going to be talking about. Okay, well, first of all, build quality. These are much better than the AX720s. As you can see, this is plastic, but this is not cheap plastic. It doesn't feel like it's brittle or it's going to snap anytime. I can do this easily without feeling like it's going to snap anytime. Even these bits that are adjustable, these feel nice. They don't feel like cheap stuff that's going to break like a Chinese takeaway container. You know, these swivel around nicely as well. These foam pads are nice. The only thing I would say about the build quality is that these foam pads make your ears a little bit hot sometimes, because I don't know what kind of stuff this is, but you know, my ears sweated a little bit when I used them. Next of all, features. You'll see that this is wired, and if I drag this along, this is massive. Still going. It never ends. It's still going. And finally here at the end, we see a little thingy that can let me bundle this all together, so that's not a problem. But having a massive wire means that you can sit back in the lounge room with your big screen TV and still be able to play. But the bad thing is, because it's not wireless, it is gonna, you know, sometimes interfere with how you play. You don't need batteries, so that's a good thing. You don't have to recharge this. The con is that you have a wire. There is game and voice balance, which is really important for games where you actually want to be able to hear your teammates in Call of Duty. So you can use that button to make sure that you can hear your teammates. You know, if they're screaming too loud, you can put it down. If people are yelling at you, put it down. But if, you know, explosions are going too loud, then you can put it up. Another thing is, it of course has the detachable mic, which goes in straight here. It clicks in, wait, let me find it, and then you swivel it around, and now that's solidly on there. It's not going to move. When you press this button here, which was the same as the game voice balance, you press that, you can hear your own voice. The good thing about that is that you won't be screaming into your headsets all night, because you'll actually be able to hear your own voice. It's also got some equalizer settings. If you press this button here, you'll be able to change it from movie mode and music mode. This doesn't need an AC power supply. That USB slot goes straight into your PS3 or Xbox, and that's all you need to charge it. So that's really good. Also, another thing is that it's noise cancelling. Because of these great earpads, even though they might be a bit hot sometimes, they're really good for cancelling noise from the outside and from inside. It means no one else in your apartment will be able to hear you, and you won't be able to hear anyone else. That's a really good thing. Okay, connectivity. As I said, it uses the USB power slot, so that's no problem. But it uses an optical, which means it can connect to anything like a PS3, an Xbox 360, or a PC or Mac. Anything that uses optical, or a 3.5mm input-output, such as this. You can see that they've given you this. They've included a lot of cables in this so that you can basically connect it to anything you want. So as long as you've got one of these 3, you're good. I found it really easy to set this all up. They do provide a really nice fancy manual, but I didn't even have to look at this before I set it up for my PS3. It was basically plug it in and it was good to go. These things, I have to say, they're not the most comfortable because they are still semi-rigid. You can see that the default position is there and most people's heads are a bit bigger than a peanut. But you can stretch them quite a lot and feel like they're comfortable, but you know, after a couple hours they can press against the temple, so that might be a bit uncomfortable if you have massive heads. It's definitely much more comfortable than the AX720s, the predecessor, because it can extend and it can swivel. Okay, microphone quality. This thing is great. Look how it's rigid but at the same time flexible. It means that when you're speaking into it, it won't just slowly droop throughout the night, but it'll stay there. It's nice and long as well, so you know, it can be molded into whatever you want. And it's good quality. It's not gonna make your voice sound all staticky and all raspy. It actually replicates your voice very, very well. And it won't break down because it's good build quality. And it's detachable, which is really good. Obviously, the most important thing for a headset is you need to have it, you know, producing the sound you actually want. These are one of the least expensive 7.1 surround sound, or even a 5.1 surround sound. This only has 2 speakers, whereas there are other Trittons that have the 8 speaker in there and subwoofers. Now I would say that this is basically the same as that, because the whole thing is based on virtual surround sound. I'll tell you a bit about it so you understand why these ones are going to be as good. It's all to do with a technical term called sound localization. You might notice that all of us have only 2 ears, and yet we can still hear things around ourselves, because it's all to do with reflections. You know, if sound is coming this way, it'll hit this ear first before it hits this ear, so we know that it's going to be on that side, or it's a bit muffled on that side, so it means that, oh, it's quite distant. And so this decoder box actually does a really great job of making sure it tricks your brain into thinking, using only 2 speakers here, that you're hearing sounds that are far away, in front of you, above you. I would say that virtual surround sound is pretty much the same as real surround sound. The question is it as good in its quality tone? Is it as good as bass? Is it rich? Is it deep? You know, are the trebles nice and, you know, crisp, or is it kind of staticky? I would think that, you know, these aren't the best. These aren't the totally top of the game kind of headsets, but they're really, really good. Playing with these was a really immersive experience. It makes you feel you're actually in the game, which is exactly what headsets are meant to do. So with all those 7 things, my recommendation, if you're serious about SPSs like Call of Duty, you would definitely want a surround sound headset. It's not going to beat the big guns, but it's still going to be one of the best. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like so that others can benefit from it as well. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave it down in the bottom of the comments and I'll reply as soon as I can. Thanks.